Hey guys, Master Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today, Gogeta versus VEGITO. It's a discussion that has been going on in the Dragon Ball community for as long as I can remember, and for those of you who have not yet come to the enlightened state of mind, allow me to educate you. They're both the same character. So, both of the Gogeta and VEGITO are both fusions of Goku and Vegeta used essentially as a plot device to defeat a powerful enemy. Now, there are slight differences in their mannerisms. Obviously, there's a difference in their visual design, and there's a slight difference which has been kind of expanded on over the years and the different formats that they've appeared in on their move sets. But they are essentially the same character, so I have never understood people who go super hard trying to argue that one is better than the other for X, Y, and Z reason. If you want to have your personal favorite based on their design or their moves or anything like that, that's perfectly fine. But I've never understood how some people go crazy at each other about which one is the better of the two. So I think design wise, I prefer Gogeta. I really am a big fan of like the Stardust Breaker and some of the stuff that he does in the Broly movie as well, that the LR can do. But I'm also a big fan of like the Spirit Sword and VEGITO units having counters. So what we're going to do here is we are going to be jumping in on a couple of different builds of the final trump card team. Because it's the only team, I think, in the game that you can literally run every single Gogeta and every single VEGITO. And we're going to be taking a look at the rotations of the main pairings of the different types of VEGITO and Gogeta. So we're going to have the LRs, of course, in both their forms. Then we are going to have both the Super Saiyan 4s. Obviously, I'm on Global, so I have to use the tech one. And the physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. Then we're going to have a look at the OGs, the STR Gogeta and the AGL Super VEGITO. Both very old units that were super impactful when they first came out, and of course now have easy A's to try and keep up in the current meta. And then we will have a look at the AGL Gogeta and the physical VEGITO Blue. I think they're probably the best combo for non-LR for the Super Saiyan Blues. Obviously, Gogeta, we do have to wait for him to transform. There is no standalone blue Gogeta in the game, so I think that's something that will definitely be coming at some point in the future. But one thing just to let you guys know, we're not going to be looking at like attack stats or defense or anything like that. It's not a super in-depth analysis video. I just wanted to like put together these pairings on their rotations and just sort of talk very briefly about how well they synergize together, because they do share a lot of links all across their different forms. I think most of the units are designed in a way that they work best with different versions of themselves, because like VEGITOs will always have links like Power Bestowed by God and other sort of Potara based links, and then Gogeta will have some different links as well. So normally a VEGITO links better with a VEGITO, but Gogeta and VEGITO have always been, ever since the STR and the AGL ones released back in the day, have always been a very solid combo to run together because they are both fused fighters. So yeah, we're going to jump in. We're not going to look at attack stats. We're just going to have a quick look at how these guys function in their different forms on rotation together. And I want you guys to let me know, what do you think of this idea for this kind of video? Would you like me to do any other combos of characters? Or do you think I should do something like this, but with a much more in-depth analysis on the characters? Because honestly, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. I'm recording the intro, and then I'm going to record some clips of all the units together. And yeah, I don't know how long it's actually going to be. So let me know your thoughts on this kind of video down below in the comment section. And let us go ahead and jump in with the first pairing. Okay, so we have here the combo of Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO, the newest version of VEGITO to be added to Dokkan Battle. And then, of course, because we're on Global, we are using the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. They do have the exact same link set, the Tech one and the Int one. So, obviously on JP, the Int one kind of completely replaces the Tech one now. But they do have the same links, so they will have the same synergy. So they do share Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fused Fighter, and Fierce Battle. I think, unfortunately for this combo, as much as I love Super Saiyan 4, I love the design of both of these characters. Gogeta obviously got the shaft by not having Saiyan Raw, which is one of the best attack links that the Super Saiyan 4s have. They obviously also don't share Prepared for Battle or Over in a Flash, which are links that now, thanks to the link level update at full level 10, don't just give Ki. So that would have been a nice bonus for them to have as well. But I mean, 4 links is pretty decent. Fused Fighter is a key link, so they're not going to find it super difficult to super attack on most team setups. So we'll go ahead and do this. Obviously, again, we're not looking at the attack stats or the defense or anything like that. But one thing that makes this combo really powerful in comparison to all of the other ones is the fact that we have the opportunity to counter supers in these first 2 slots. So VEGITO has a 50% chance, Tech Gogeta has a 70% chance, and then of course the Int one has a 50%. So the Tech one probably will just be replaced by the Int one, but there you go, like there's that thing coming in. So this rotation, if you're running these 2 together, it means wherever the super attack falls in those first 2 slots, you have a 50-50 chance of countering that super attack. And countering supers is obviously a very, very powerful mechanic. It's only in some of the things like Legendary Goku event or the later stages of Infinite Dragon Ball history, where you get like a certain boss where they disable dodge. That's the only content in the game where the countering super attacks is not available. Just because of the wording of the technique, the character dodges the attack and then counters with tremendous power. So if you can't dodge, then you can't do that. So obviously this combo, very, very powerful. Little bit let down by their links, but obviously a very strong rotation to run on this team. Super Saiyan 4, like I say, very cool design. I'm a big fan. And yeah, they... just like all the other pairings of these 2, they're always going to share like Fused Fire. So Ki is never necessarily going to be a huge issue for them. So Super Saiyan 4, very, very good combo. Okay, so this is the pairing of the OGs. So AGL Super VEGITO with his Easy A, STR Gogeta with his Easy A. Both of these units, when they first came out, were basically the best units in the game. Like Gogeta was the 1-year anniversary unit. Having all types 3 Ki and what was it, like 3000 attack or something, was like the best leader skill in the game. Did crazy damage, super effective against all types. And then of course AGL Super VEGITO came out. Reasonable enough damage off of just of his own super attack, but he of course was the first unit to counter normal attacks in the game. He also does raise allies attack on super. That was the thing he did pre-Easy 8 as well. So he was always incredible. And when we first started to put multicolored teams together, like when the physical VB came out and super teams were like the big meta, these 2 have always been an insane combo, because obviously having Fused Fighter, Super Saiyan, they have Prepared for Battle, Golden Warrior, they just have so many good links together. I think Gogeta's just picking up, yeah, he was picking up Over in a Flash from the VEGITO at the back end there. So obviously nowadays both of them have their Easy A's. Of course on JP, Int Gogeta just got his Easy A, and his kit is not really like different enough that there are probably still times you would run the STR one. So I feel like the Int one has definitely replaced the AGL one now. But these are the 2 OGs with their Easy A's. They are both still very, very good. As you can see here, like VEGITO, even in harder events, still easily capable of tanking normal attacks for basically no damage. We're going to see it here though. He doesn't tank supers all that well, but he is the more defensive of the 2. And then of course Gogeta comes in with the effective against all types. After his Easy A, he does also lower attack and defense, which can be useful in some of the harder events as well. And the Int one, of course, does that as well, now that he's kind of taken his place. So these 2 definitely fall a little bit on the lower end of the scale now. I think mainly in terms of the global version, I guess, that we're showing here, because in the harder events, like say you get into like the final stage of the Legendary Goku event or an Infinite Dragon Ball History run, Vegito will still be able to tank reasonably well, and of course get off those counters, which as long as you're getting crits are going to do decent damage. But the STR Gogeta, he really can't defend well once you start getting towards the end of those events. So obviously the new Int Gogeta, much stronger defensively. So him taking his place in this rotation will definitely elevate the power of this rotation and how effective it is in harder events. So obviously global, we have to wait. But I mean, this Gogeta, we've got Turles for support and he's still hitting a 2.5. Obviously, like we said, the video is not really about their attack stats, but that's still a very reasonable number for an old unit to put out like that. So this rotation, whilst it's not the best, it's a little outdated, is still very powerful. So good old school units trying to keep up with the current meta, and they're both still pretty good. So when it comes to the non-LR version of Super Saiyan Blue, there is, you know, a slight issue with creating this pairing in Dokkan currently, and that is of course the fact that as of right now there is no standalone Blue Gogeta. The only two units in the game that will become Blue Gogeta do not start out as Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So we do have to wait until the 5th turn for this guy to transform, and then of course physical Vegito Blue, still considered one of the top units in the game, probably still considered the best EZA unit in the game, I don't know. Obviously LR EZAs are going to factor into that now, so I guess Prime Battle Frieza on JP is probably a big competitor for that title now. But Super Saiyan Gogeta for this first couple of turns and the physical Vegito Blue do share a ton of their links anyway. So they still link up incredibly well together. And, you know, Blue Gogeta, the AGL one, he might be starting to seem a little bit dated now, but he still is a very powerful unit in his own right. And then, of course, the fact that physical VB has those counters. So let's come back once he's actually transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. Okay, so here we go. Transforming into Super Saiyan Blue with our AGL Gogeta. And let's see what we can get here. So let's have a look. Now that they're both blue, let's take a look at how they link up here. So we've got Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Fused Fire, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle. Very good set of links. Obviously, you can see from some of these pairings, some of the units that I haven't got around to link leveling yet, but obviously, if you have them at full link level 10, they're just going to become even better together. And then Vegito, he's going to get some extra links from the tech one, so let's move him into here. So Super Saiyan, yeah, so it's basically all the same. They have the same 5 links activated. Yeah, Vegito is going to obviously be getting more from the Vegito in the back there. But this is another rotation that is incredibly good together. Like, once they transform, I would probably go as far as to say that aside from the LRs, this is the best combo of Gogeta and Vegito in the game. Obviously, now that he's transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, Gogeta has a 50% chance to dodge, and he's 100% chance to crit. So obviously, you load this man up on additionals, watch him go to town, and then physical VB just does what he does. He's going to get his super attacks and stuff off first, build up that defense. There you go, dodge the super. He's going to be building up that defense, and then he gets to fire off a bunch of counters as well. So in this pairing, this is the perfect scenario that you want, essentially. You want the enemy to super attack Gogeta and have him dodge, and then Vegito gets the chance to build up his attack and defense, potentially with the multiple super attacks, and then fire back with the counter attacks like so. So they are a very, very powerful rotation together, and I would say probably the best non-LR combo of Gogeta and Vegito. Okay, so now we are on to the big guns. Regardless of your favorite form, of your favorite card, it's probably hard to argue that the LR rotation is not the most powerful combo of the Gogetas and Vegitos in the game. Of course, Turles had to transform here, but like I said before, we're not really worrying about numbers so much. So these guys, before transforming, they have Saiyan Warrior Race, Feast Fire, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle. So, I mean, just by the fact they share Feast Fire in Over in a Flash, they're obviously going to be getting a ton of ki. Gogeta does also have Prepared for Battle, which he will only get if we put him in the middle here next to Turles. So I guess that's fine. We'll go ahead and grab these and then grab these. Can we get the 18 key super for Gogeta? Yes, we can. So these guys transform on turn 4. I think people have criticized how well these guys have aged, because you do need them to transform. They're not hitting the kind of numbers offensively or defensively that some of the newer units are, like on turn 1. But it's still very hard to argue. I don't think anyone would suggest that the two are not good units, and this rotation of them together is incredibly powerful. Now, obviously, because they have slightly differing link sets, I think their most optimal rotations are when you pair them with the other like versions of themselves, but together they still work really, really well. Okay, so turn 4 is here. It's time for both of these boys to transform into Super Saiyan Blue. I remember like everybody losing their minds when these animations were first shown off in the run up to the 5-year anniversary, and they both still look very, very good. Oh, and we got Cooler here as well, so he's buffing the transformation boost alloys. So once we transform, now we are looking at Super Saiyan, Fused Fire, Over in a Flash, Fierce Battle, Kamehameha, and Legendary Power. Very, very good link set for these guys. They're only missing, what? Warrior Gods for you, and then Power Bestowed by God, which is obviously more of a Patara-based link anyway. So, unfortunately, the orbs on this rotation, not the best. But both of them do get extra ki for themselves in this situation, so I guess we'll just give those to you. But yeah, once they've transformed up to Super Saiyan Blue, that is where the true craziness begins, because here we go. We got Gogeta, gets that little bit of extra ki, bumps himself up to the 18 key super, and of course their animations are absolutely fantastic. So of course we immediately get the KO with the first guy on the turn where they transform. So we've gone on to the next turn. This is of course another big factor for the LR fusions, is the fact they get this active skill once the enemy is below a certain amount of HP. I guess I'm not going to use them here. We are getting the support from the Topo, so let's let Vegito go first here. Vegito, of course, there's another sort of argument, I guess, in the between who is better, Vegito or Gogeta. I think it's hard to argue, like, on paper when you look at their stats and everything. Vegito, the fact that he has the guaranteed additional super, I think probably puts him slightly above Gogeta. Because obviously we get the 18 key super here, and then we're always guaranteed to get this additional 12 key super. And obviously both of his animations look fantastic. And Gogeta here in the middle, unfortunately. He does get enough ki to get. I think Gogeta actually gets more extra ki than Vegito, so still able to get the 18 key super and take out Super Boo here. So I mean, these two just absolute powerhouse rotation. As soon as some support is in the third slot, these guys will be putting out some crazy numbers. In fact, you know what? Since we've got Turles here on this next rotation, and both of them are available again, let us finish off these two by showing off the active skills. Yeah, just a casual 2.5 million damage. I mean, the units that have these big, powerful attack active skills, so good. And this animation for Gogeta. Yeah, very, very cool. And obviously we only get to see one here, but both of them have the cool little KO screen as well. So, I mean, these two units, they're still super hype. Like I said earlier, I think, like, feedback from the community seems to be that the hype for these guys died off fairly quickly, but both of them are still incredible units. And yeah, their animations are next level. Well, there you go, guys. That was, like I say, a quick analysis of the different VEGITO and GOGETA pairings. Let me know what you thought. Like I said at the start, would you like to see something like this again for a different pairing of units? Or would you like to see something a little bit more in depth? Obviously, as you saw there, and as I said at the beginning, we didn't go super in detail with their attack stats or all the different kind of teams you can run them on with like other support units and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting idea to try something like this out, and let me know what you think so we can improve for the future. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the link to my Discord in the description. Feel free to join in the fun over there, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.